Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for North Dakota Today. I'm Lisa Bedell here with Chris Berg. And the big story today, I've been told by a friend of mine who works with Game and Fish to quit being so excited about this.
I was going to say, in Bowbells, this is kind
well,
of
and
like
actually,
normal,
it's
right?
true.
Like,
so there's a
why is this
moose
even a
in the
story?
metro. It's true. So there's a moose in Fargo. But you're right. There's so many moose up from where I'm from. Like I grew up seeing moose. Yeah, it's like not a joke. Like I would see them all the time as a child, and I know now I see pictures circulating. There's quite large herds of moose up in northwestern North Dakota as well. So
Here's
yeah.
a fun fact that we didn't know. Apparently, we have a moose whisperer on set. So what do you do to?
No, you do steer clear
Moose
because I was going to
whisperer.
say, here's the thing: they're very large, they're aggressive animals. I remember because my grandparents lived on a farm, and we'd be sitting in my grandma's house with the big windows, you know, and I would look out and would be like, oh, there's a moose in the front yard, and then they'd be like, well, the kids had to stay. We had to stay inside then. You know, you don't mess around.
Don't mess with the moose.
Don't mess with the moose, for sure. But anyway, the call came in this morning that there was a moose in Fargo, which is, of course, kind of an unusual sighting.
Moose is loose. We're on fire this morning.
Moose is loose.
Moose is loose. Don't mess with the moose. Where else should we go?
Moose in the metro.
Moose in the metro. We need T-shirts right now. All right.
So people were, seeing it, spotting it, taking pictures. I know earlier we sent a crew out and then it was dark. And they're like, we don't see it. It probably just went back. You know, because I was thinking, too, when I come in from West Fargo, way rural West Fargo to the city of Fargo, there's those trees kind of by just east of the zoo, kind of I-94, I-29. A lot of times I see deer in there, so I kind of thought, well, it's not so crazy for a moose to. But then Jordan Schreier, he's from Minnesota, way over on the other side. He's like, we don't have moose in Minnesota. He said they don't, I don't know. He said they don't see a lot of moose. I'm like, well, it's because they're all in northwestern North Dakota.
Because I was going to say, the bears in Minnesota scare the moose away to western Minnesota, or western North Dakota. But so, don't we have wolves at the zoo?
We do. So where are you going with that?
I'm just thinking the wolves probably smelled the moose and were like,
Oh, did you hear? And I think it was a full moon, so everything is just so crazy. Last night there was howling. Was it the moose? Was it, the full moon? Why were the wolves all upset? I don't know. So we're seeing a lot of pictures popping up. We're getting those posted to our Valley News Live Facebook page. We're working on getting some video. I'm not sure if we have that in yet, but we're going to work on it. I can tell you right now that we have gotten permission from a video for this video to be shown. It was from McKenna. She was heading towards North Fargo on I-29, I believe, and said she spotted it. We'll get the video to you here in a little bit, but she was heading north.
Here it is.
Here you go.
Look at that.
Is that what you see
huge.
typically when you're on the interstate? So heading north, that was right between 12th Avenue and 19th Avenue. And you're not hearing the sound, but they actually were kind of like screaming, like, what the heck am I seeing here? Because look how big that is.
Wow.
Right? They are huge animals. And I don't know if this kind of, is funny against us or not. We obviously listen to police scanners. And so the call came in this morning. We were on the Valley today, and I was like, they just said moose. And so they sounded pretty, urgent about it because, they're like, well, we don't want the moose to go into traffic. Obviously, that would, be very dangerous. Could be, a tragedy for someone who is driving. Or for the moose to run into, a house or a building or whatever. They can be aggressive. So as far as I know, it's still on the loose. Game and Fish saying, steer clear, don't approach it. If you do see it, just give them a call. And of course, we just want to safely get the animal out of town. So
yes,
it's the whole thing. Okay, talk about moose. Let's go right to bison. How about that? We do want to say once again, I know we're all about the animals, the bison. It's game week. We want to remind you, we talked about this yesterday. I'm over my sadness. I can't go to the game in the Fargo Dome, but I can watch it on TV, which is good. The game is at 2:30, but all the action gets started here on KVLY at 1 o'clock for our big 90-minute pregame show. And we're talking about some fun things you can do for the Bison game, whether you're home gating, how you can still be a, involved fan. That's coming up. But of course, all week we've been doing fun stuff with Cashwise to have your home gate party as tasty as possible. So that's coming up next here on North Dakota Today.